Oh, look at you. The boss just called now and said they want you to send a video message for a video production that your company's busy with. Don't fret. You don't need one of these to shoot your video. All you need is your smartphone. Let's go and find out how. I'm joined by Jesi Townsend, who's a multimedia content producer. And during lockdown, Jesi's had to use contributions from people who participate in videos because she hasn't been able to go around to them to go and shoot the video contributions. So it's been very interesting because there's been a lot of inconsistencies with audio, picture quality.
Yeah.
What are the things that you tell people when you ask them to send video contributions into you?
I think I make it very simple because we need to know that some people have never ever done this in their lives. So I give them a guide of 3 areas that they need to look at. The first one is location, second one is their setup of their camera, and then the third one is their camera presence. The location of where you shoot in your video is literally the make or break. You need to look at natural lighting, where you're shooting in noises that you might come into.
Like a cell phone buzzing.
Like the cell phone, like a car driving past, your family in the background if you're in the kitchen somewhere. You need to make sure that everything is sorted and quiet. Mm-hmm. No fans, no air cons.
No loud house medias.
No loud house medias.
But and also, like, people have a habit, because I saw you coming in here and you were doing this with your chair. They swivel on their chair. And often they're not as well oiled as these chairs at Live Forever Studios.
And they
can be noisy, eh?
Yes.
So you don't want people concentrating on anything else but your presentation.
Yeah.
So what about what I'm wearing?
Neutral colors is always...
Stay away from reds, checks.
Yeah.
Fine checks. This is a check, but it's a bigger check.
Yeah.
So stay away from stripes, reds,
small
white
details.
if you're darker in skin tone.
Yeah.
Because you don't want your face to burn out,
yeah.
right? And then the second thing that's your cardinal rule is your camera setup, you were saying.
Yes.
So talk me through that.
So there are professional ways of doing this, and then also very normal using different items in your household. For example, you bought a gimbal. We call these gorilla pods. Very inexpensive. You can get them for like about 70 rand.
Yeah, I bought mine at Chinatown for 70 rand.
Easy. Just put this down, put your phone on. Also make sure that it's eye level.
Okay. So you can use a stack of books?
Stack of books. You can create a stand with paper clips as long as it's straight on and
eye level.
Portrait.
Eye level.
Yeah.
So why is that important? Because portrait, for the uninitiated, is that, and landscape is that. Vertical or horizontal? Why is that important?
Usually, if the editor is editing the video, he or she's gonna do it in a 16:9 frame. Yeah. So that's gonna be landscape.
Filling the screen, in other words.
Basically, if you're shooting your video in vertical, you're gonna leave 2 little, in layman's terms, black areas on the side, and it makes the editor's job a little more harder. There are ways to work around it, but you don't want to cause extra work for someone. Yeah.
And then your third part is where you locate yourself on the screen. Now it's important that with these cameras, or these phones, or they're cameras with phone ability. But if you look at it, my inclination is to look at myself, but you actually want to be looking at the lens, because then you're making eye contact with the camera. Am I right?
That's right.
Okay.
People always ask, or they'll retake the video if I say just look at the camera, because sometimes on the phones nowadays have multi-lenses.
Okay.
I always say take a test picture looking at different things, and you can see where your eye's looking at. And that will sort out the eye thing. Also, where you're positioned in the camera. You can have one where you're centered, where you're in the middle of the frame, and you must have a little bit of space on top of your head.
Yeah.
Or the other one is more of a aesthetic thing, is rule of thirds. So you're on a third of the frame. If you split your video up into three areas.
Yeah. You don't want to be holding this phone in your hand, though.
Definitely not.
Why not?
People can get seasick by watching your video, but it's kind of just unprofessional. You want it to be standard, unless the brief is to have it moving. having it steady is always the best for the editor. You don't want them to have to stabilize it or anything afterwards in post-production. Also, another thing, lighting. You can get one of these guys. They are a ring light, selfie stand.
And they've got different settings as well. There's like a blue light setting and a warmer light.
Yeah.
Dependent on the type of mood you want to create.
Yeah.
And the tone of the video, eh?
So that's definitely another route if you want to up your game.
But when you're positioning yourself also, and you're at home, where do you position yourself in terms of lighting as well?
Yeah. So, like I said earlier, very much natural light. But the main thing is to make sure that you have no backlight. So you always want the light coming from in front of you, facing you.
And what about audio? Because a lot of the times that's the thing we neglect, and you get a very tinny sound, or not all the phones are different to each other. So with an iPhone sound quality, it's usually really good. But you've got a hack because you use 2 phones when you record. Tell me about that.
Yeah. So in terms of the echoing, that will go back to where we shoot, our location, make sure that's not echoing. But there is always, if you're shooting with your phone, you can have an external device. It can be a second phone to record another take of audio. And you would send that to your editor at the same time. A loud clap, some people don't actually know why there's that clap in movies and stuff like that. It's for the editor to be able to sync the audio of the video and of the other audio together.
Because you don't want the kind of B-grade martial arts film where the speaker's out of sync. Like, how do you actually send it?
There's various methods. Some people have their preferred ones. Me personally, I like to use Google Drive, WeTransfer, or my favorite is Telegram.
And so that is a wrap for episode 3 of Disruptive Native, making your videos fly. I'm Gasant Abarder from Loudhouse Media. For more content like this, visit www.loudhousemedia.co.za.